was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
Good morning. It's still morning. I'm glad you got to see me today. Thanks for taking the time to listen in. Today is going to be very chill. No gaming today. If that's what you're looking for, very sorry. I did remember to turn my mic on, so that's a plus. Tune in. But today I'm just going over my predictions, the results of my predictions for WrestleMania 42. Everybody has their ups and downs of their feel for what happened with WrestleMania 42. And there was a lot of shocks that happened. And some good things, some I can't believe things, but just in case you're not a regular WWE fan, which I went away for many years and came back, this summer, come SummerSlam, that'll be 2 years in my coming back to watching WWE. I'm from a generation when it was WWF, and now it's obviously WWE for purposes of internet. So I missed a lot of things in there, but right now is a very good time to be jumping into the WWE. If you've not watched some amazing talent with the NXT that gets those ready. It's like a farm team, if you will, for a AAA, for a Major League Baseball team. You have Shawn Michaels, one of the great ones that gets them ready and prepared and set to go sometime from the get-go when they enter WWE, which we're going to talk about with at least one of those individuals. Some wrestled in other places all over the world, did not come into the WWE until their later years. Penta is one of those. We will talk about him. And but we are going to dive in just today, just those results, what my predictions were, what actually happened, what were some of the surprises, what were some good takeaways. What I'm doing right now with this stream is what I want to do someday in the future when I retire. Whether or not I'm able to play video games or not, maybe the old brain just can't handle it. I am 50, so we have to come to realization not everybody can handle it down the road for whatever purposes or reasons, I guess I should say. But this is the end goal. This is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy doing. and you have to start from somewhere. Just like with some of these wrestlers I'm going to talk about, you have to start from somewhere and build your way up, whether it takes you a short time or a long time or an in-between time. Um, it takes time no matter what. It takes the effort, which is what I'm trying to do today. I took a day off. I don't normally take days off from work. It's been 2 months since I've taken a day off. What, last time after I watched, yes, my Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl. That's the last time I took a day off, and did not stream anything, but today I am. I wanted to do this, and this is what we're going to do, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, if you're just tuning in, going over the results from WrestleMania 42, what my predictions were and what actually happened, and what were some of the shock and awe factors, which there were quite a few that happened. So we're going to get into, we'll get into night one with, we'll start with the Usos and LA Knight versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I Show Speed. I predicted actually that Logan Paul and the crew would win this. It actually, they did not. It was LA Knight and the Usos that ended up winning this. And then, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, I can't take him as a heel. He's okay, but Logan Paul is just top notch. I can say a fellow streamer, way bigger than me, but he does those things. You may not like him, but actually he's actually a good guy. He plays a heel. It's just part of his gig, and he got lippy with I Show Speed. The Usos and LA Knight kind of came in and helped, and then tell you what, LA Knight plopped Logan Paul on a table, and I Show Speed jumped off not the top rope but the pole and just plopped on him. He literally did one of these. He jumped off and did a quarter spin to angle it just right. Dude is super athletic. He's very talented in what he does, streaming and physically. He can put up or shut up, and just put him through a table. Wasn't griping, moaning, groaning. I mean, he was speared last year by Braun Breaker, but we can expect celebrities to play a bigger part in things that happened, and it's just part of it. It's to keep things going with the WWE. Celebrities, kind of from the beginning, were always, when it came to WrestleMania, were always part of it, and they continue to be so. But I was wrong with that pick, and LA Knight and the Usos, they won that, and good for them. A decent match, beginning matches first night. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. I did pick Jacob to win that, and I'm just checking off what I've gone through. I got a little checklist, what I picked and who the winners were. I'm just going through those things. And Jacob, he won. I like Jacob Fatu. There's one of those stories, served time in prison, is not ashamed of it because it's what's made him him. And, he's not going back, all gas, no brakes. He is true to his character, plays through like realities of him. He's not ashamed of it. He can't hide it. It happened, and you just got to move forward. He's not that life. He's not that person anymore from that life. So we're going to move on, continue, because there's getting into the really good stuff. We'll get into one of those here just a bit. Becky Lynch, AJ Lee. I picked Becky to win. She did. There were no ups and downs. You don't know what AJ is going to do. I think, honestly, kind of foreshadowing, if you will. She is taking some time off, so you can kind of take that for what I'm about to say later down the line here with her husband in his match. But I think they are taking she is taking time off. They are actually, and then that'll obviously kind of a foreshadow of results. But um, I did pick Becky to win that, and rightfully so. I'm not a fan of necessarily her character, but she does it well. She's not that type. She's really not that person. She's actually very caring, and very good with her husband and her, especially her daughter. So, um, but Seth Rollins and Gunther. So I picked Seth to win this, and I was expecting other things to happen. They did not. Gunther wins, so I did not pick that correctly. But the return of Braun Breaker running 75 yards down that ramp and spearing Seth Rollins for a second time, just phenomenal. He is part of the future. There are some other new big dogs as well that are in there. He's been with WWE for a while now. Still very new, but you know, he's been out for some time. Don't know if he's medically cleared, but I'm assuming after what he just did that he kind of sort of is. So we'll see what storylines come through with this. But spearing Seth Rollins, it just adds to the story. And you know, this Raw that'll be on tonight, that is the best Raw, typically what you're going to ever see. And sometimes that might overshadow some of the events that even happen in WrestleMania, which is, you know, again, some will say, you know, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl, you know, of the WWE, and couldn't agree more. That's their end, but now we start all over again, start fresh, and it just continues. There's no off season; it just continues. The only off season is if someone takes a break, which does happen. Time with family, things happen, including death. But you know, they're just constantly doing, and they deserve the time off. Mental health is always a big part, I think, of what they than what it used to be of the grind of every single day. But things have changed, and we have to understand that. Okay, let's get into. Okay, so we'll do the women's tag team for the WWE tag team. And lo and behold, the Bellas win, but it wasn't both Bellas. It was Brie, and she brought someone with her because her sister was hurt, and Paige made her return. If you've never seen the movie Fighting with Family, that is The Rock is in that as well. Not a big part of it, but he's the reason why that movie was made. And it tells the story of Paige and how she came to be into the WWE fan all of her life. And Paige returns in that place. She looks a little different. You can tell she's had work done on her face. It just, you know, it is what it is with that. I don't care about that. She returned, and she honestly, you know, didn't know how fans were going to react, but the place just, you know, Vegas just went crazy, and they did win. That was not who I predicted would win. I actually predicted something off the wall with Bayley and Valkyria winning, but I didn't know all of this was going to happen, and this makes more sense. Very well done. Secret wise, even though someone spilled the beans before it happened that night on Saturday, and that's all right. My son, though, wasn't the one who told me, but he forgot about it. Then he realized, oh, wait a minute. Yes, I knew. I gave him a clue. I said a book, and he was like, what? And page of a book. You know, you can't give out the clue exactly what you want to say, but yeah, if you've never watched her wrestle or seen that movie, I guarantee you the movie you'll love. It's very well done. Even if you don't know anything about wrestling, just a great story. And she is back, and from what I understand, it's not just a little while; it's a multi-year contract deal, from what I heard. So, she is here to stay for a while, and that's a very good thing for the WWE. Just side note, the Bellas will have the belts, and when everybody's healthy, I think they just turn on Paige, and then that's how Paige begins her solo career again with the WWE. It all makes sense, and that's probably what's going to happen. That's just what I think. Liv Morgan, Stephanie Ricker for the World Championship title. I picked Liv to win. And there's always that little interference piece from the Judgment Day. And, it is what it is. I think Liv's character is very well done right now. It's not so much oriented to the group. Her song Trouble, I am not a big fan of, and it just is what it is. They did some goofy things besides Danhausen coming out and looking at John Cena and him doing the 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. Danhausen is funny, but Liv Morgan came out, was doing a little bit of dancing with her video, just lip syncing to the video. I mean, that wasn't, you could tell that. I mean, that was done on purpose, and everybody knew that. But her song Trouble, I'm not a big fan of, and hopefully that is not her entrance music, because that is not good from my perspective. But it is what it is, and I have no control over that. Let's see. First night. That is 6. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. So, unfortunately, Randy did not win his number 15 title for the WWE Championship. Pat McAfee, sorry, bud. You mess with Jelly Roll, you're going to pay the price. Through the table, Jelly Roll put him. And then, Pat McAfee leaves on a stretcher. He's got that around his neck. And then the referee at that time gets hurt. And then Pat McAfee comes out with his referee outfit. And Cody thought he was going to lose. Pat McAfee did a slow 3 count. And Randy did not like that, or KO'd him. And I think that's how we put Pat McAfee in the rearview mirror. He can go back and do his podcast. Just a goofy little add-on to that match. But there's those goofy things are going to happen, things that you're not expecting to happen. You didn't know if Pat was going to be a part of it again. He doesn't make he makes an annoying heel. I will say that. And, he was the one apparently that was calling Randy, helping Randy. He didn't need him. Randy can do his own thing. But Cody, of course, only 2 kept their belts. There's foreshadowing. And what we'll talk about next is one of those who also retained the belt, the title. And that is Penta, the Intercontinental. But Pat McAfee got what he deserved. Jelly Roll got to be a part of it. That's the celebrity thing that's going to continue. It is what it is. And You know, it's neat to see the celebrities. And you know, Kittle, he was out there, he was drinking everybody's beer and chugging it both nights. But he's a big, massive fan. And I joked with the friends I was with that, oh, it looks like he's getting his off season training in. Maybe that's why we don't win the Super Bowl. But just joking, because the one was San Francisco 49ers fan. But let's get into the um, Penta match. Shadow J11, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it so much. And appreciate anyone who's actually on watching, but appreciate the sub as well. Um, and maybe it brought you because you're maybe a WWE fan. Just letting you know this isn't a every time thing. Oh, you followed. I'm sorry, you did follow. I don't know why that showed a sub, but thank you though. I appreciate it. Anyways, no matter what. I got some fixing to do. That shouldn't have done that, but thank you for the follow. Do appreciate it. Um, and no worry about the tears. It's my goof. Something I've done. It is what it is. That shouldn't have popped up that way, but appreciate it anyways. Thank you for following. So getting back into the Penta match, that was a ladder match. Oh, big WWE fan. That is awesome. Typically Shadow or Jay, whatever you want me to call you. I don't do this normally. I am working the regular hours of a day, if you will. Of course, regular normal hours, just usually done by 4 o'clock. And I just wanted to take a day off. I hadn't taken a day off for quite some time. Been a couple months after watching my Seahawks win. But Shadow, absolutely perfect. Yes, I will call you Shadow. That is no problem there. Just curious, Shadow, what you thought of the two nights with WrestleMania, if you did get to watch it. I don't know, any takeaways, anything that shocked you, which there were some shock value that happened, that one big one that I have not gotten into. And if you say it, no big deal, because I will be getting into it and I can just transverse into that. But I am, so since I'm one of the old guys that streams, I'm into people like Penta, who I'm talking about, that wrestled around the world, finally got his chance to be a part of the WWE. And I wish he was in there before that. At least in his 30 years time frame, but he's in his 40s now. So, um, let, let me say this about the Roman Reigns match versus Punk. Let's just talk about it since we're into it. Um, Roman did win. For big matches like that, I don't personally want the interference, but when it ends, it needs to end well. And it did not end well, in the sense of how it was kind of done. I thought that could have been better. Um, and you know, and everybody's allowed to their opinion. This is just mine. And I'm going to tell you, Shadow, that is one of my things. My son and his friend, and we were talking about. So, in my getting back into watching wrestling, if you didn't catch it, I've only been, come this SummerSlam, back into wrestling again for the last 2 years. So I did not. That is one of on my to do list to watch at least the main event match, I believe, for WrestleMania 40. That I see. I'm going to watch that because I've not seen that. I'm just being honest with you, and getting back into it. COVID. I even kind of through COVID even kind of watched a little bit of like I just wanted to see what wrestling looked like through COVID. That's those guys and gals put all that work in and then have no fans. It was goofy, but I am going to watch at least the main event of WrestleMania 40, and yeah, that those were. Um, let's talk about the Roman Reigns Punk. Um, Roman did win. He did give Punk and the post show some credit. He's not a fan, he says, of CM Punk, but um, you know, credit where credit's due. He put up and shut up. Just Roman was the one that came out on top. And that's just I did pick Punk to win that. He did not. But we'll get into the Penta. So let's talk into Penta. That Javon Evans flat out in that ring, the young buck, the 21-year-old, what he can do, I've never seen before. To be a spring loaded individual as he is just absolutely phenomenal. Of the great athletes that in there, he is absolutely the best athlete that's in there. Yeah, I would have liked to seen him win. We can't have, and we're going to talk about Oba in just a second. We can't have him just we can't have them, everybody who's new, just taking over everything, but eventually they are going to take over the next gen. Those are coming from NXT, and hopefully you agree with the Shadow, and anyone listening. NXT is phenomenal. Again, I would have loved seeing Javon win, but I wanted personally, because I'm a Penta fan, to see the old guy win. He did. I did not see, Ray winning that. And unfortunately, I do believe that in the Oba match, we will talk about some other things as well. That those leaving the world of the WWE in the ring. I don't watch NXT either, Shadow. Just a little bit. There is so much talent waiting there and for their turn. It is unbelievable. And until just recently, with people like Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Oba, I thought the women had the big, massive advantage of the talent. I think the guys are kind of starting to slowly going to take that over again. Obviously, the men get more of the matches, but the women's matches, a lot of times, and you can disagree with me, whatever. I've always, that SummerSlam, when I started watching it, which was in Cleveland, I watched Rhea Ripley, and I'm a big fan of Rhea. We have same similarities with names, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's not the reason why I like her, but man, that she comes out, the crowd just, it's loud. And sorry, and I hope you're not I hope you're not a Raiders fan, but that stadium is not going to get any louder. What it just have with all the talent to just walk through there. But I'm a Seahawks fan, Sons of Browns fan. It is what it is. But Penta, end up winning. I would like to have seen Javon win, but in due time. And there's no big rush that we need to worry about, because they're there and they're going to put on a great show no matter what they're going for, whether it's a title or just for a regular match. Um, but let's get into let's I don't want to I want to save the Oba match for last. So Shadow, please don't spoil anything. Oh, you picked everything right for night 2. Let me see for myself. Nope, because I picked Punk, so no, I was wrong. I thought what I predicted, because I did not know it was going to be changed twice, but the Dominic and Finn Balor match, I did not know, for one, that it was going to be the Demon, or I would have picked that. And two, the change in the match, that pretty much anything kind of goes. So I did not pick that correctly. And much like the Bella twins, I did not pick that correctly. If I knew Paige was coming back, which you don't want to know, I would have picked them to win hands down. But that's a great surprise. But I did pick Dominic to win if I knew the Demon was going to win or come into play, and the kind of match it was going to be, I would have picked the Demon. Great. Apparently that takes, for his makeup, that takes 2 hours, and I wish they would have done a close-up view of his back. But yes, we're going to get into that, Shadow, about, if I don't know if you watched the post show or not. It's a coming. We're going to get into that. I'm excited. I got chills. I'm not trying to do the Rock thing, any of that. People, spoiler, Rock did not come back. He's, I think, getting back into his normal form of the bigness, because he just did a movie. I can't think of that movie name right now, but he lost a lot of weight, took away his muscle, but he's gaining that back. He'll be back again. If I will say, if you don't watch anything else, what you just said about Roman Reigns and Oba, there we go. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, Moana live action. The post show with Obafemi, you might want to watch that. And the Roman Reigns part, I would watch both of those. I believe they're both the second half. I might be wrong with that. I would watch that. But so Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill for the WWE match, title match, and I did pick Rhea to win. Rhea did come out on top, and that was one of those matches that I thought there would be interference. I can't remember if I said that, but it's just, Jade does a heel very, very well. And I think that will never change for some time. Yeah, Rhea to smack. That's in the creativity of everything. You want both Raw and SmackDown to do well. I've even with announcers, Michael Cole going to SmackDown, then going back. What works best, for both shows? I love them being 3 hours long. When SmackDown went back to 2 hours, I kind of faded, then came back to 3, and it does better. But it's not going to top the Raw tonight. That's going to happen. Typically, I watch the first hour of Raw, wait till the next day and watch the rest. I'm one of those. Just, it is what it is. But with work, getting up earlier, I save it for Tuesday, and I enjoy it on Tuesday. I don't want to fall asleep trying to watch it. But I am the old guy in streaming, so remember, I got to get my rest. And it was no surprise to me that Rhea did win this, even with some interference. I see EO, and my son kind of agrees. Oh, that's awesome that you can watch it on Netflix. To me, wrestling is soap opera with muscles. And that's what I've always called it. I used to watch soap operas. I used to watch Guiding Light, just, talking about 50 years because that's how old I am. Guiding Light started on radio and then went to TV, black and white and then color. I had watched Guiding Light and then stopped, went to back watch Guiding Light, which is kind of my fear of. I went back to watching wrestling again. I was like, oh, hopefully I don't jinx them, and it just ends. But I kid you not, 2 to 3 months later, Guiding Light was canceled. So I'm glad Raw and SmackDown and PLEs, they're all still here, and I'm not a total jinx, but um, but soap opera with muscle, but to a different level, and it's very well done. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams. I did pick Trick to win that. So Trick Williams, I know it was WrestleMania, but he does not need anyone introducing him. And I'm trying to be as nice as I possibly can. He does not need someone out there introducing him before he comes out. We're way beyond past that. He is going to do great things, but he is not going to be an Obafemi in the sense of what he may accomplish in totality. But I may get surprised. So let's talk about Obafemi Brock Lesnar match. Very short. And I was upset by that at first. Then it happened. Brock takes his gloves off, starts tearing up. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Boots come off. And even Kurt Angle, I guess, apparently said, best luck in retirement, had a picture with him, I guess. But I'm just saying to all of you listening and to you, Shadow, it's the Raw after WrestleMania and anything can happen. And just remember, Gunther still needs that favor. I'm just saying. I don't think the Beast is done yet. Prove me wrong. Paul Levesque, prove me wrong. But yes, I did pick Oba to win that. Not as fast as he did. That had to be a tough talk. Brock being what he was, and there's a 20-year difference. Yes, Shadow, a hell of a career, most definitely. He, to see Brock though leave, being the character that he was, to leave, to be in tears, and to hug Paul Heyman, to look into the crowd, smacking hands, telling them thank you. You just don't know these people sometimes as well as you do, because it's just the character they play on TV for WWE. It is soap opera with muscles, and I'm glad he teared up. I'm glad he hugged Paul Heyman. I'm glad he thanked the fans. Just flat out, I didn't think that would have ever happened tonight, but I still don't think that it's done. I was expecting Gunther to come out and do something afterwards, maybe, or during, to, there's still a favor that's needed. And I think it involves Brock Lesnar. Gunther's favor, I think it involves Brock Lesnar, but we will see. I won't find out probably until Tuesday, because like I said, how I watch it, but I am some lackluster, just piggybacking on your word, Shadow, lackluster moments, but overall, there for the shock value. I said yesterday and before it started, night 2 is going to be better performance wise, but we're not going to have that. The shock value is not going to overcome Paige coming back. I was wrong. I'm always the first one to admit anything in life, with work or whatever, that I was wrong. flat out Brock Lesnar supposedly retiring, not officially yet, I'm going to say, was the bigger shock and awe of the night. And I I look forward to Raw tonight. I look forward to the storyline. I look forward to all the young guys and gals that are coming on, that are so extremely talented. That there's just, I think like SmackDown going to 3 hours, it needed to happen because we need to make room for some of them, um, to show off their talents, no matter whether it's a Danhausen for his comedy or the talents of like an Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans. Um, we'll throw a Lash Legend in there, even though someone, I don't know who said it in the WWE world, said they were, oh, it was Big E, I think. He said he was more impressed with her than any of them. I disagree with that, and it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, because I've said literally on this stream even that for a while I've thought, since I watched SummerSlam 2 years ago in Cleveland, that the women hands down were the better, put on the better show, the better athletes. And right now the guys are kind of coming back with what's coming through the pipeline. And but shock me, Shawn Michaels, shock me, Paul Levesque, Triple H, shock me. That's what I asked for. The Beast retiring, not officially, was a big shock and all. Paige coming back was a shock and all. And I want to see more of that. And I think we're going to see that there has to be, in creating a storyline, has to be such excitement with what they have that sometimes maybe they probably can't even go to bed at night, because they're just, maybe they don't sometimes, just because they just, creativity should just be like oozing out of them. Like I could do it. I mean, I could. And with what you got to use it. And some of them just like it's just not there, the storyline. And it's kind of just shoved in. Oh, here you go. But like, I know that's hard, but we got to utilize those that excel well, get that story going. I know there's always little smaller side stories that make up the bigger story, but I want to see those mentioned, like Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Obafemi, Lash Legend, even a Penta for the old guy who's new to the WWE. Just give us the story, utilize them well, and give us what we want. Great storytelling, great matches, which you can have all the time, any part of the day for that match, or for a Raw, or for a SmackDown, or for a PLE. It should be top notch all the time. But that is going to be it. Again, Shadow, thank you for the follow. Sorry I messed that up. Sorry that it popped up wrong. I appreciate it. Again, this was going to be very chill, very relaxed. Wednesday will be a Fortnite day for me, and we're going to go and tackle the new vaults that are available within Fortnite. And maybe Friday, depending, maybe we'll get into some Marvel Rivals. There are some new characters I would like to try. Fork Knife, yes sir. Yes sir, MJ. Hope you're having a good day, MJ. Yep, some fork knife on, as you call it, on Wednesday. Going to show you if you're able to play. Hope you're there to join. We're going to be going and tackling some of those vaults that are available. There are 2 vaults. The one we kind of knew about because we were in it. The other one, nope. Yep, that's fine. This is something, this is not, with Shadow hopping in, that was awesome. Found another WWE fan. Awesome. Glad you'll join Wednesday. This, like I've said, I just, this is down the road when I retire. This is stuff that I want to do. Maybe it's WWE related. Sports wise, I've kind of shied away from sports except for like football. Um, you know, I've always joked, said, I'm just going to start watching hockey. Maybe I'll start watching hockey more. I've kind of shied away from basketball. NBA basketball kind of ticks me off. Um, I went to watch a game, and it was the Lakers game, and the only starter that star wise that was playing was the old guy like myself, LeBron James, and I was irritated. I watched it for just a few seconds or a few minutes, and I said, I'm not watching this. And I never watched another game. I've only watched a few minutes of the NBA. Now in saying that, when the playoffs come, I want to see good basketball. I don't get into much with the college stuff. I do watch, football wise, I do watch Ohio State. Sorry, I'm a Ohio State fan. But if you're not, it is what it is. I do live in Ohio, so went to school there. But this is not a typical time that I get to use. Maybe Monday I'll just put in some time, or actually actually Tuesday would be better. Tuesday watch a Raw. Monday watch Raw, some of it, finish it Tuesday, hop on a little bit, just talk about it. What do you want to talk about? And get in and doing those things. Obviously, I took today off from work. I wanted to be relaxed today, not rush from watching WrestleMania, and just get in here and do what I want to do, which is this down the road. It won't always be, I might not be able to always do video games, but I can always do this. And I'm not boasting I'm the greatest at it. You can't become great at it because I just started streaming a year ago. You're not going to be great at it. Just like I'm talking about WWE, some have their time frames quicker than others of when they become those stars. And there's no set timetable for everyone. Everybody, I can't have all like MJ. I can't have all the followers like you have. But you've put in the time and you deserve those followers. And now I have 58 with Shadow. Appreciate every single one of you for listening, for following, for subbing, for making me do push-ups. Let's not do push-ups today. And but if you do get in there and put in that for the bits, I will do my push-ups. But that is going to be it for today. And so don't do the bits right now because I am leaving. I'm glad you got to see me today. Thanks for taking the time to listen in. Happy trails. Have a good day, good week, every single one of you. We'll be back on Wednesday for some fork knife. We're going to head into the vaults, show them where those are at, get into it, and just have a great week. In case we don't get to see you, but just do have a great week. Yes, thank you, MJ. Thank you for the bits. We will catch you later. Appreciate it as always, and thank you for not making me do push-ups. But we will see you guys, and have a good week. And Wednesday is the game plan, and then Friday we'll be back on as well. Until next time, have a good rest of your day, and happy trails.